What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, aka the King of Soul, and today we got some Nike Dunks to look at. The Nike Dunk SB Low. This is the Grateful Dead Bears Opti-Yellow colorway. Before we get into the review, do me a favor, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. Now, these videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes, so if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So this sneaker does actually come in this Nike SB box. So, it does have that kind of half rainbow effect going on. Up on the top of the lid here, you do have this white Nike SB branding, and then pretty much throughout the entire box, you have more of that radiant rainbow effect. The bottom portion of the box is all blue, and it does have some white Nike branding, and then copyright information for those that do care about that. There you go. Now, the box label on the sneaker does read Nike SB Dunk Low Pro QS. The colorway says Opti-Yellow and then Blue Fury. So when you do actually open the box, you are met with that white tissue paper, and it does have that effect that always kind of look like the inside of when you cut into some wood. From there, nothing too special about the packaging with this particular release. So you are met with the sneaker beyond the white paper there. Now, for those of you that don't know, now me personally, I wasn't really, because I really didn't kind of understand the whole concept behind this sneaker. I just saw that it was it was a Nike Dunk SB Low, when they actually did have these bears kind of printed all over it and everything and stitched in. So when you look at the materials and everything, I knew this fur material was supposed to kind of resemble a bear in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But as I actually did a little bit of research, so Grateful Dead was actually a band, I want to say from back in the 1980s or somewhere like that, but nevertheless, never heard of them, don't really recall too much of their music. I don't really know whose radar they were up under. So at the end of the day, if you're a super diehard fan, forgive me, they just weren't under my radar. I have no clue who they are. But it also makes me also wonder, because and just like with most collaborations with the Nike Jordan brand, I just kind of want to know what's kind of the guidelines when it comes to doing these collaborations. Because even with the Cause character, I didn't really know who Cause was, never heard of Grateful Dead. Travis Scott, he's a huge hip hop rock artist or whatever, but at the end of the day, he's not really one of my favorite artists. I'm just being honest. So it's just, to be honest, I'm just kind of just curious, what, when Jordan Brand chooses to, collaborate, what is the thought process? What's the criteria? But nevertheless, this is a pretty solid release, because I did kind of like the look of the sneaker. I just didn't want to, spend my money on this one here, because the sneaker actually did retail for about, I believe it was $110. But nevertheless, I'm not going to talk you guys ear off. Let's go ahead and get into the actual reviews of the sneaker. So there you go, Nike Dunk SB Low, Grateful Dead Bears Opti-Yellow. So we're going to take a look at the right sneaker like we do always. So let's take a look at the medial side first. So for the most part, the shoe is actually composed of this nice suede material, and it's actually real soft and transitional. Then you do actually have this yellow fur going through the entire upper. So let's start with the mid panel here. You do have that high yellow, bright big bird tone yellow, and you do have this blue zigzag Nike swoosh here, and it is in that Blue Fury, and it just it's kind of outlined in this navy blue color here. The top panel here is actually in this It's a darker, tone of yellow suede material here, and then you do have more going towards like, the heel portion, and it is more of that suede material going around here through the lace holes, going all the way to like, the front portion of the sneaker. The midsole is actually in this yellow and blue here, pretty consistent with most Nike Dunk sneakers. So swinging things around to the front portion of the sneaker, the mid toe box area there, like you do have more of that high yellow fur here, and then there is like that suede material there for the mud guard. The sneaker did actually come with these oval flat laces here, and it is like when this high yellow, the yellow is a little bit different than what's like here on the fur and this suede material, but I mean it does work. And then like the tongue of the sneaker actually is like in this nylon mesh material. The sneaker did come lace with these yellow laces here, and they do have like these blue, red, and white zigzags here on like the lace tips, going toward like the top portion of the tongue. You are met with more of that nylon mesh material, and then you do have that circle there in blue with the Grateful Dead bear with the Nike swoosh and the blue in the background. Now, one thing that's pretty interesting about this actual tongue for this sneaker, it actually does unzip. So it's like kind of like in a compartment wherever you did want to kind of like, hide, some contraband or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, like it's just something where you can kind of actually like, store things. It's just something that they actually did just to kind of add more, excitement to the sneaker. And it is like, that zipper stitch in there, it's in all yellow. Now going towards the medial side of this sneaker here is consistent with the other side. So you are met with more of this yellow fur here up top. We're going around like, the I guess you want to call it like, the sock liner. And then you do have more of that suede material here for the top panel going across this portion here, going toward the back heel. More of it going towards like, the front toe box area. And then you do have that blue zigzag Nike swoosh that's outlined in that blue navy. And then more of that yellow and blue midsole there. Going towards the bottom portion of the sneaker, it is pretty consistent with most Nike Dunks. So you do have like, this hit of this blue Fury, and then like, it's yellow in this mid portion here. And it does have the Nike SB branding there as well. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this sneaker here. I'm going to actually do you guys a favor and pull out the insole of the sneaker. Looks like they actually got this one kind of glued in, so I'm not really going to pull it out. But at the end of the day, there it is. Like you do kind of see like, there's like, five Grateful Dead bears. There's yellow, green, red, orange, and it looks like the other one is pink. So that is on the insole of both sneakers. Now, one thing that I did forget to go over was the back portion of the sneaker. So you do have this suede back tab here, and it does have this Nike branding here in lowercase in that blue Fury font. And then there's more of that, yellow fur, and then there's suede, more of that yellow, darker yellow suede there going across like, the back heel. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. And then they did actually give us a secondary lace option with this sneaker. And it does come in this plastic bag with the Nike SB branding. And it does have like, that blue Fury laces, and it does have the same effect as the yellow laces, where it has that red, white, and blue lace tips. But me personally, I think I'm gonna stick with the yellow ones. I mean, I feel like the blue ones are good touch, but at the end of the day, the yellow ones just pop a little bit more for me on this sneaker. But nevertheless, that is pretty much it. If I were to rate this sneaker, I would actually give this sneaker a let's go with a 9 out of 10 on this one. Solid materials and everything like that. Well thought out concept. It's just, to me, it's just a lot of questions. Like I said, I don't know what the criteria is for Jordan Brand when they do these collaborations for like the sneakers. So like the concept with this sneaker just really didn't, make too much sense for me, but I'm always up for like, conversations. So if you guys can kind of give me more insight and background on this sneaker, I would greatly appreciate it. But definitely want to go ahead and get this one a 9 out of 10. As far as sizing, the sneaker does fit just like any other Nike SB Dunk Low. For me, that's actually true to size. It does kind of feel roomy in the toe box, so I don't foresee a reason for you to kind of go down or up a half size. Just stick true to size there and you will be, good to go. But nevertheless, yeah, I definitely want to take the time to thank the vendor again for getting this, sneakers over to me on the channel to review for you guys. But I do always encourage you guys to stay engaged with me. I can be reached on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we go, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a 360 and a B-roll like I always do. But there you go, Nike SB Dunk Low, Grateful Dead, Bears, Opti-Yellow. So there's the front of the shoe. There's the lateral side of the right, lateral side of the left. There's the bottom portion of the sneaker. There's the media side. And then there's the rear. But again, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to tune in like always. But until next time, see you later.